Guys, James here, and we have another build for you today. This is the Meng model, 1/700 scale, Chinese Type 55 guided missile destroyer. So, without further ado, we should open the instructions and see what we got to do. So, I do apologise for that squiggling it. So, obviously, in the first stage of the instructions, we've got to build this. So, I'm going to put the instructions out of harm's way over here. Note to I do prefer the ones that comes with. So B1, B4, B2, and B3. So, and essentially cleaned up all the sprue. I came readily prepared. I've cleaned up all the sprue nibs. And click that one into place. Click that one into place. Clunk click and click that one into place. And then this is B4, which you've got to make sure we get the right way round. Like so. Saves decking. That saves me putting the decking. So that's part one done. Nice and simple. Part two. Show the drawing there. Quick glimpse. Then we get A1. Hand only got A1 on its rump. B6, which is this one. And B12, which is this one. And then we've got to push fit those onto there. And push fit those onto there. And then that, hopefully, which it does, it goes on there lovely, goes onto there. Then we have C18, which locates on this back part. Like that. So that's part two done. So already she looks like a ship. Already looks like a destroyer. And then I'll pause the instructions here, and we'll clean up the other parts, because it's going to be a bit boring if you see me cleaning up parts. See you in a bit. And we're back with the next part. This is part three of the build, or stage 3, whatever you want to call it. So we've got B5 here. So obviously, note you got to lift that under there. I'll do that. And then this is C15. Just make sure I've cleaned up the sprue nib enough, because we'll have fit issues there. 3 lugs. Like that. and then the bridge, which is A2, handily that's got A2 underneath on that bit there, and then we get B7, gets pushed into there, and then B8 gets pushed into there, and then we can put the bridge onto there like that, and there we go. And hopefully, then I've got, unfortunately we're going to have to pause it there because obviously the I've got to cut all the bits off now, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, so I've cleaned all the parts off. I'm going to just do either A, B, C or D version. So this is A3, this bit, and then we've got little engine exhausts, which they can only go on one way, so that's F6, and that's F5, I believe. Plonk those on there, and they locate on those two holes, like so. Goes in there lovely, like that. And this bit's A4. Goes in those two holes there. A little bit tight of it with that piece, but that bit's in there. And then we have A5, which is this little tower, and C4, which is this little aerial. Plonk that bit in there. It's keyed. A4 la. So that's that one. Part 4 and part 5, oh dear, has a lot of little pieces on here. Some of these I'll get off because I think it's fairly quick to get them off here. So it's going to be these 3 that go on there at some point. And B9, that's all that's the B sprawl done. So put B11 in that B11 in that. Let's go. Which I've just dropped. Never mind. Oops. So B11 can only go in that piece there. So push it in there. Clean up the sprue gates on this part. This is B9. And this is B10, so I'll do B10 first. That push fits into there. And that's B9. That's B9 that goes there. And then we need the missile, oh god, the missile launchers. They're on this C sprue. We'll get C17 off because the C17's got to be fitted, which is the helicopter hangar. Zzz. And plonk that in there, hopefully. There we go. C12, which is again one of the little rocket launchers. That's that with this one here. I'll leave the sprue there because it's fairly straightforward what this one is. Clean the sprue gate off the top. And then plonk that in the hole like that. So that's C12 in. And these are C13. We'll do them sequentially. They're quite fiddly little things to sand up. So we've got these ones that go on here. Bonk. And again, this is where my fingers go numb. There we go. And last but not least, we'll fit the C14s which go there. And hopefully that'll be part 5 finished. As you can see, it builds up to being quite an impressive little destroyer at this point. Sorry if I'm going off you for the That's it. Of course, I'm trying to put it in with a numb hand. There we go. And that is part 5 all done. And shock horror, we turn over the page then. No, I know we go to the second booklet. Oh, that's interesting. And we have to find part 7. Part 6, I should say. Yeah, that's part 6. So, again, we're putting lots of lots of tiny little greeblies in place. So I'm going to pause it there and cut them all off and attempt to fit them. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, and that's part 6 done. I inadvertently pinged a little piece off and I can't find it, so I may be fitting that later. Had lots of tiny little fiddly little parts, to be honest, this one. So onward, that's part 6 done. Part 7 has the lower hull and the various bits of the rudders and spinners here. So I shall get these off quite quickly because they're only 2 sprue gates. He obviously didn't like you, Carlos. Nope. If Judo went for you, he don't like you. Right. And that's gluing one of those in. It's all right. Judo went ballistic a minute ago because my brother-in-law grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and he didn't like it. He went absolutely nuts. And this is the 2 rudders. I'm going to leave the props off for the moment. That's the E-sprue done. Like so. And part 8 has the 2 parts go together. so. Finger and thumb. And there we go, there's most of the hole together. And let's make the little piece up at the front. So D1, feeling a little sprue gate off there. Do apologise if I'm doing enough off screen, but and that part goes on there, like so. And we have the bow of the ship done. And that's the D sprue done. And I think I shall give it a break now, because this has gone on for 23 minutes. I know we're nearly there with the ship. You can see how fairly straightforward it is to build. Even though there's lots of tiny little parts, there's quite a few more left to fit, unfortunately. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.